Hello everyone, I am Lexi. I'm your host. This is Lexi's Book Nook on Book 2. If you are joining me, you can see my face, my Book Nook, get inspiration, and also some new additions to my Book Nook. If you have not been following along, this is a new addition from my last episodes. So I'm going to show a couple of my new decorations. My mom got me this one, just one more chapter. I added a new bookcase. My boyfriend and I set it up together over the weekend, and it's starting to look really, really good. I'm just getting some more decorations, more fake plants, more books. I'm going to start adding to my collection. So if you can see right here, you're on my BookTube page. I also have a podcast, a Patreon account. My podcast is on Spotify, Lexi's Book Nook. Our Patreon, same thing, where you can actually support the podcast. You get to see my face like this, see my Book Nook, and get inspiration for your own. Spotify is free. I also have a website called lexiesbooknook.com. That is spelled Leies, booknook.com. If you follow along to my podcast episodes, you know that I have 2 episodes per month, one in the beginning and one at the end. In the beginning, I talk about all the books that I'll be reading for the month for book club recommendations, Reese Witherspoon's book picks, and then some books on my TBR list that are in theme for the month. And then the second episode of the month, I will be summarizing those books, give my thoughts, and some discussion questions that I found from book clubs that have used that book in the past. So it's going to be my version of a little book club in a podcast. But if you're here on YouTube right now, BookTube, then you are also getting bonus episodes. And this is just books that aren't on that list of books that I discuss on my Spotify podcast episodes. This is something that I picked up it's on my TBR list, like deeper down from that month. So I might have recommendations from my TBR list in my podcast episode, but the one that I'll be discussing tonight and in future pop-up bonus episodes, other books that are on my TBR list. So today, the book is The Good Left Undone, and I'll also show you my book art since you have the benefit through YouTube. And this is one of my grandma's favorite authors, Adriana Trigiani. She's Italian, and I come from an Italian family, so we are very proud of our roots. My grandma really likes her books, but she has not read this one, and she recommended me other ones I can't think of right now, but I might add it to my TBR list later. But The Good Left Undone is a multi-generational love story sweeping across coastal Italy, southern France, and Scotland. Right before her 81st birthday, Matilda offers her 25-year-old granddaughter, Anina, the contents of her jewelry case. This is a family tradition for brides-to-be. Anina selects the one item Matilda isn't ready to part with, a jewel-encrusted watch with an upside-down facade. Facade. Never say that right. Matilda's attachment to the treasure leads to questions about its origins and family secrets. So this was a really interesting book because it had some historical fiction to it, and I love historical fiction, but it's also a romance. It took place during World War II, but in Italy, so we get to see how World War II affected Italy through their perspective. And as a proud Italian, like I mentioned, I found this very interesting. I like that it was based on true events and that it's a romance, like I said. It's a perfect fit for a historical fiction novel for the month. In February, I read a lot of romance books to stay on theme. So this was a really good book to read during February. And like in my description, I actually read this in February. The pop-up episode was in March because I finished this by the end of the month. I also really like the characters in The Good Left Undone. It's a more serious book, so there wasn't any comic relief. However, the characters are likable and very true to themselves. They're down to earth and intelligent, especially Matilda. And Matilda's also the grandmother. She's my favorite because she reminds me a little bit of my own grandma. So I'm going to go into just a couple of discussion questions, some that might have been picked from previous book clubs, and I'll give my own spin on them. And some books, unlike this one, don't have discussion questions as they haven't been used as a book club yet. But this one, I have some questions. So why is it so important to tell Matilda's family stories from the past? I think it was important to tell Matilda's family stories to show the perspective from her side, as if Matilda is telling Anina her past and stories. She wants to tell Anina her stories because she knows Anina's fiance is not right for her. She wants to tell Anina to follow her heart and not what's right. For Matilda had married another man before she met Anina's grandfather, which was a scandal for those times, and Matilda's family did not know that. So it was kind of a bit of scandal within the family because they didn't know, excuse me, that Matilda married before meeting the love of her life. The second question, how do the secrets Matilda shares heal and strengthen her family bonds? Sorry, I spelled that wrong in my script and I got really confused. So how do her secrets that she shared heal and strengthen her family bonds? In a way, the secrets didn't go well with Anina's mom at first. She felt betrayed that she didn't know sooner or before Anina. They've kind of found out at the same time. Anina's mom thought she had a right to know her mother's secrets, especially if there was a chance that her father wasn't her biological one, but he was. Matilda had her daughter with the appropriate man, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, once the secrets were revealed, her family fully recognized how incredible their mom and grandmother really was, how strong and smart, and especially as a nurse at that time, her values to continue to work when she was banned from working at one point in her career. It also helped her family appreciate her a lot. Excuse me. Her family was completely in the dark until Matilda told her stories. Most of her family learned the truth at the same time, so they got to bond over their secrets and plan her funeral in the way Matilda would have liked it. So in a way, the secrets were really good because the family finally got to know her more fully before she passed away, and they got to bond and tell each other or question each other of Matilda's past, and they had to find out as a family. So I think that's kind of good for them that they found out at the same time. And the last question is, how did you understand the title, The Good Left Undone, upon finishing the novel? And I think the good is the Cabrelli family, so that's Matilda's family, and undone is the secrets being untold. So the secrets were left undone or untold until Matilda revealed her family's secrets. So the Cabrelli family being revealed is how I interpreted The Good Left Undone. Sorry for my throat today. It is being weird. But I really hope you like this episode. These pop-up bonus episodes are usually really short. I try to stick to the discussion questions to maybe no more than 3 if I can. Unless I find like more that I think that would be more discussion evoking. But if you have read this book and have questions for me that you would like me to answer, go on my website, lexisbooknook.com, and you can find my email and you can give me your questions or your own thoughts, or if you have other recommendations by Adriana Trigiani. So please let me know. If you want to listen to my podcast, it is on Spotify for free, Lexi's Book Nook. That is spelled Lexie. You can also find my website, like I said, lexisbooknook.com, LEXIESbooknook.com. If you want to support the podcast, see my face, the book titles, the covers, my book nook, see these new decorations I'm getting, get inspiration for your own book nook, then follow me on Patreon, Lexi's Book Nook. It is only $3 a month for all those benefits, so please sign up if you can, if you want to support the podcast, or just get all the other benefits of looking at the titles and books and see my color-coded bookshelves behind me. So I hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope you keep on reading.